One of the biggest names in sports media, as well as his former employer, is being sued for harassment amid allegations of improper behavior that date back nearly a decade.
My buddy Skip Bayless, my former colleague at ESPN. The suit filed by a woman named Nasheen Faraji, a former hairstylist for the company, cites several instances of workplace misconduct.
For years, Skip Bayless and his wife Ernestine have been at the center of public scrutiny, with Skip's fiery commentary and unfiltered opinions drawing both admiration and controversy. But behind the headlines, Ernestine has remained a private figure until now. In this heart-wrenching confession, Ernestine opens up like never before, sharing personal details that will leave you speechless. What's behind the tears, and what shocking truth has Ernestine been keeping under wraps all this time? Stay tuned as we uncover the secrets that have taken everyone by surprise. Skip Bayless's relationship with his wife. Before we get into what Skip's wife revealed about him, we need to first understand what kind of relationship they have. Their love story began in a very unexpected way. They met during a work-related meeting where Ernestine was accompanying a client who was scheduled to appear on Skip's show. Skip, the busy sports commentator, and Ernestine, the poised public relations expert, couldn't have been more different, but it was this difference that drew them together. Their connection was immediate, and soon, the professional boundary faded into a deep, personal bond. Years passed, and their love grew stronger. Skip, ever the planner, decided to surprise Ernestine with a proposal. It wasn't in a grand hall or a candlelit dinner. It was on a flight from Newark to Oklahoma City in July 2010. There, in the middle of the hum of the plane engines, Skip asked Ernestine to marry him. For the next 6 years, they continued to build a life together. Skip's world revolved around sports, with his early morning routines and endless games to analyze.
I hear you. I agree with you. But let me preface what I'm about to say by saying I'm a big fan of Maverick Carter's.
Yet Ernestine, though from a different world, found ways to weave herself into his. She didn't just tolerate his passion for sports, she embraced it, spending hours watching basketball and learning to love the NBA. Their Friday night date nights became sacred. In a world where schedules and screens often take over, they found joy in sitting together on the couch, watching movies, and sometimes switching between a thrilling game and a gripping plot twist. Ernestine's humor and charm complemented Skip's intensity, making their time together both meaningful and fun. Then, on July 28, 2016, after 11 years of being partners, Skip and Ernestine decided to take the plunge. But in true Skip and Ernestine fashion, their wedding wasn't a grand spectacle. It was a quiet, private ceremony with only a judge and a few staff members as witnesses. They didn't tell anyone, not friends, not family. It was their moment, free from the noise of the world, a decision that reflected their desire to keep their love story uniquely theirs. Over the years, Ernestine has brought a sense of balance to Skip's life. She has often joked that she needs crushes on basketball players to make it through 4-hour games. Skip, who is known for his all-consuming passion for his career, admits that Ernestine has taught him the importance of compromise. Their relationship thrives on these small acts. Whether it's Ernestine learning the rules of football or Skip putting aside his analysis for a quiet moment with her. Their differences have also been a source of growth. Skip, who grew up in a household where affection wasn't openly shown, credits Ernestine with teaching him how to express love. For her, coming from a loving and warm family, it was natural to say, "I love you," or offer a hug. Skip had to learn these things, and over the years, he's embraced them, becoming the partner Ernestine always believed he could be. What makes their relationship stand out is its simplicity. Despite the fame and demands of Skip's career, they've kept their bond strong by focusing on what matters: time together, mutual respect, and shared experiences. Ernestine, with her wit and warmth, has shown the world that Skip Bayless isn't just the tough guy on TV. He's a man with a big heart, a dry sense of humor, and a deep appreciation for the woman who stands by his side. Skip often says he's never been bored with Ernestine, not for 1 second in 17 years. Ernestine, on the other hand, has admitted that she's had a bit of trouble adjusting to Skip's all-consuming love for sports. Keep watching to find out how she deals with his relationship with sports. How Ernestine deals with his relationship with sports. From the beginning, Skip made it clear that sports would always be a central part of his life. In fact, during their very first meeting, Skip told Ernestine that sports would always come first. This might have discouraged some people, but Ernestine decided to give their relationship a chance. She admired his honesty and passion. Over time, she discovered that while sports were his world, Skip was also a caring and loving partner. As their relationship grew, Ernestine quickly learned just how much time Skip devoted to sports. His job required him to watch games, analyze players, and stay up to date with every development in the sports world. It wasn't just a job for Skip, it was his life. For Ernestine, this meant that their time together was often interrupted by games, discussions about teams, or Skip's need to prepare for his shows. Despite this, Ernestine found ways to cope. One of the biggest adjustments she made was accepting that their time together would often revolve around sports.
Hold the ball from Karl Malone, dribble it all the way up the floor with Scottie Pippen standing on the wing with his hands up. Give me the ball, give me the... No. And Jordan, a little subtle push off of Brian Russell. Everybody pushed off.
For example, their Friday night date nights, a tradition they started early in their relationship, often included watching basketball games. Ernestine, who didn't initially enjoy sports, began sitting with Skip during games. She started learning about basketball, especially the NBA, so she could enjoy these moments with him. While she admitted that she didn't connect with football and found it confusing, she grew to appreciate basketball and even had favorite players. Another adjustment Ernestine made was adapting to Skip's busy schedule. Skip's workday starts early. He wakes up at 2 a.m. to prepare for his shows. This routine means that their evenings are often short, and their weekends can be consumed by sports. Ernestine has learned to make the most of the time they do have together. She values quality over quantity, ensuring that their moments together are meaningful. Throughout their marriage, Ernestine has continued to find ways to balance Skip's love for sports with their relationship. One way she copes is by focusing on her own interests. Ernestine has a successful career in public relations, which keeps her busy and fulfilled. She also enjoys movies and often spends time watching films with Skip when he's not working. Their shared love for movies has become a way for them to bond outside of sports. To make their relationship work, Ernestine has learned to give and take. For example, she watches basketball games with him, even if it means spending hours in front of the TV. In return, Skip ensures that their date nights are special, even if they involve sports. Ernestine has also learned to accept Skip's need for alone time to focus on his work. Skip often spends hours preparing for his shows, which means he can't always be available. Ernestine respects his dedication and uses this time to focus on her own activities. This mutual respect for each other's needs has been a cornerstone of their relationship. Over the years, Ernestine has developed her own perspective on sports. While she may not share Skip's passion, she appreciates the role sports play in his life. She has even found small ways to enjoy the experience, like having crushes on certain basketball players to make the games more entertaining. This lighthearted approach helps her stay engaged while spending time with Skip. One of the challenges Ernestine has faced is dealing with Skip's intense focus on sports during important moments. Skip has admitted that he is obsessed with his work and that Ernestine will always be second place to his work. Despite this, Ernestine has had to find ways to adjust. For example, she has learned to be understanding when Skip needs to monitor a game during their movie nights or when he gets distracted by his laptop. While it's not always easy, Ernestine chooses to focus on the positives in their relationship. Regardless of these challenges, Ernestine and Skip have a strong bond. They have fun together and enjoy each other's company. Skip often says that he has never been bored with Ernestine, not even for a second in their 17 years together. This mutual admiration and love have helped them navigate the difficulties that come with Skip's sports-centric lifestyle. Yet, even with all this compromise, Ernestine has also had to deal with controversies that Skip has been involved in, especially one very recent one that has been in news headlines for quite some time now. Stick around to find out how she handles these controversies. Ernestine's way of life dealing with controversies Skip has been involved in. Over the years, Skip has made a name for himself with his outspoken opinions and fiery comments on various topics. But as always, with fame comes criticism, and Skip has found himself at the center of many controversies. Throughout it all, Ernestine Sclafani, his wife, has been by his side, supporting him through the challenges that arise from these public disputes. This is a story of how Ernestine deals with the controversies Skip has been involved in, including the most recent allegations made against him. Ernestine, a public relations expert, has always been a supportive partner to Skip, even when his actions or words have caused a stir. She has seen firsthand how tough it can be to be in the public eye, where every move and every word is scrutinized. Her role in their relationship has been one of balance, maintaining a sense of calm when things get heated. As the wife of someone who frequently finds himself in the middle of controversy, Ernestine has had to be resilient, emotionally strong, and thoughtful in how she handles the challenges that arise. One of the most difficult challenges that Ernestine faced came in the form of a recent lawsuit filed in Los Angeles. The lawsuit, filed by Nushin Faraji, a former Fox Sports hairstylist, accused Skip Bayless of making repeated unwanted advances towards her, and even offering her $1.5 million to engage in a relationship with him.
Fox Corporation for unspecified damages. The suit claims Fox executives allowed Bayless to, quote, abuse workers without fear of punishment, including allegedly offering $1.5 million to the accuser if she had with him.
The lawsuit claimed that Skip, who was a host at Fox Sports at the time, pressured Faraji into a relationship after she confided in him about a cancer scare in 2021. This accusation shocked many, as it was not the kind of behavior expected from someone who had been a public figure for so long. According to the lawsuit, Faraji, who had been working for Fox Sports since 2012, started working with Skip in late 2016. She was tasked with doing his hair for the show Undisputed, where he co-hosted with popular sports sensation Shannon Sharpe. It was during these hair sessions that Skip allegedly began initiating unwanted physical contact, such as lingering hugs where he would press his body against Faraji's, including inappropriate comments. According to the suit, Skip's advances became more direct, and Faraji continuously declined, explaining that she did not date at work and needed to keep her job, as she was a single mom. This was an incredibly difficult situation for Ernestine. Having been married to Skip for many years, she must have been shaken to hear such accusations. But Ernestine has always been a woman of strong convictions and values. She chose not to publicly comment on the lawsuit at first, as she understood the importance of allowing the legal process to unfold. She knew that Skip would face a lot of public backlash, and she wanted to stand by him in private, offering him the support he needed as he gets through the controversy. Ernestine's decision to stand by her husband was not an easy one, but she did so because of the trust they had built over their years together. As the lawsuit gained more media attention, Ernestine found herself in a difficult position. She had to deal with the emotional toll of being associated with a controversy that was not her own. Even though the case is still ongoing, Ernestine is still choosing to stand by Skip through the storm. Ernestine has also had to contend with other controversies that often surrounded Skip. As a sports commentator known for his strong opinions, Skip has frequently found himself in the middle of debates, arguments, and controversies about the athletes and teams he covers. Whether it's his critical views on certain NBA players or his fiery arguments with co-hosts on Undisputed, Skip has never been one to shy away from a heated discussion. Fans are watching to see if this recent controversy will affect his marriage to Ernestine or not. It has led to broad skepticism among the scholars. Every newly found text is treated with a chunk of skepticus, until the Ethiopian Bible. After those who knew the language deciphered and translated it into English language, it became apparent that the texts inside are not just like any. For example, the Book of Enoch had long been suspected to exist somewhere, but there is a way it should look as if it exists somewhere. The ones that have been found show no sign of what is expected. They look so doctored that one would have a hard time not doubting that they were, but this one is just different. It is as it has been predicted. One thing that is very important in books and texts, like those that have been found, is whether they rhyme with prediction. This one just fits into it completely. Apart from that, there is also the claim of origin. The book does not situate itself in Rome or any other such place, but in Ethiopia itself. Indeed, Ethiopia had long been a stable religious city where Christianity was thriving as a business in China. Many of those there even believed that Jesus was in Ethiopia and preached among the saints there. While there is no real evidence for this, there is no doubt that Ethiopia preceded the Western world in receiving and accepting Christianity in all its shades. This is why the country is considered to have some certain preeminence when discussions about Christianity are concerned. But this is not even all about it. Most Christian texts in the Western world have either been forged or been polluted. The Bible, as we know it, is not what it was originally. Some books were intentionally removed, such as the Book of Jonah. There have been reasons put forward for their removal. They sound plausible, to be fair, but it makes one doubt things in the Western world to a certain extent. The Ethiopian Bible, on the other hand, has been living on its own time for some time now, meaning that it has not been polluted. It is still a pure book, untouched, and because of that, it is very valuable for the intended research. The last reason will surprise you. Stay tuned. We all tend to think the Bible is supposed to be dull and drabby. This same pattern of thought has also been extended to other books out there. It is not a premeditated thought anyway. It is something rooted in the way the book is. There is no way one catches a whiff of the Bible or even the Torah as a whole that one would not think all books about serious things such as heaven and hell should be all word. But well, we are glad to break it to you. The Ethiopian Bible is not like that. This ancient book is filled with artistic portrayals that could wow just anybody who loves seeing the Sistine Chapel or anything like it. The drawings were made from velium from goat or sheepskin, and natural dyes were used for illustrations. This shows the writers must have been very careful to get what they knew to be true. They wanted to have the best representation of their knowledge out there, which by every means is a sign of authenticity, although it filled the artistic thirst of people who love great works of art. So why would someone not want to read such a book and finish it as soon as possible? This and the other mentioned above are the reasons this Bible is very crucial, revealing what is in the Ethiopian Bible. One thing that struck those who decipher the Ethiopian Bible is the enormous number of mysteries and truths untold and hidden within the book. All the things that the Bible says are contained in it, as well as many more. It is such a wealth of knowledge. Among all its texts, one that first garnered enough interest from all corners is that of the Book of Enoch. Sure, there are others too that are very revealing, but this one has its peculiarity that strikes a person immediately when he or she sees it. And moreover, it is different from the generally known Book of Enoch. This is why, in this part, we will first tell you the most important things contained in this wonderful book. The book starts by telling the story of Enoch as it is in the Bible. He is the man who the Bible said walked with God and never offended him. His son remains one of the most popular aged people in the Bible. We are talking, of course, of Methuselah, a man who has lived many more years than expected of people of his time. His record still remains unbroken today. Perhaps when men have developed better sophisticated technology, we can live as many years. The story here, however, is more colorful and detailed. It is not just a vignette like we have in the Bible. The first revelation in the book is the story of Nephilims. That had been one dark territory in the Christian Bible. We will talk about it at length soon, but let us say some other revelations that strike immediately upon sight. There is also the story of why some angels fell. While this is also in the Bible, the one here seems a bit different. It has a story that separates it from everything else. Then, the last one that could make one retake a seat. The reason why the flood was necessary. In the Bible, the flood looks like something that could have been averted, but here we have the whole story of why that might not have been good for the earth then. Simply, it was a necessity. Nephilims are originally believed to have been created. This has been the mainstay truth for some years now, but with this book, it has been cast aside. According to the Book of Enoch, Nephilim came about after fallen angels arrived on earth. They had offended God and were sent down to earth. Instead of these angels to tread it lightly, they forgot their state and saw the beautiful humans as possessions they would love for themselves. In other words, they wanted to copulate with humans. Their wish came true, but there were children from the encounter. These children are the Nephilims. They have in them the genes of both humans and angels. In heaven, God was very angry about this. He had not sent them to earth to come and mix with humans. Moreover, those children became much stronger than necessary. God then cursed them and was ready to do more about it. According to this book, heaven was angry about what humans had done by listening to the sweet voices of the fallen angels. There will always be a punishment that is more than that curse. It is only a matter of time. The question is, who would be able to mediate between man and God when God was that angry? This was where Enoch came to the fore. He was never a stranger to the throne of God. He saw it all firsthand through dreams and visions. He had access to God as he was his chosen human. Instead of him withdrawing, knowing how angry God was, he chose to be the mediator. Like Esther, he did not care about what happened afterward. All he wanted was for there to be peace in heaven and on earth. So he pleaded with God to help the humans look upon them with mercy. God, fortunately for him, answered. That is the reason some of us are still breathing today. God, perhaps, would have wiped out the whole of humanity. Apart from that, there is also the annals of Witcher in this book. There is a complex hierarchy system between humans and angels in God's chosen system. In this part of the Ethiopian Bible, that is witnessed firsthand, humans are seen as being raised in heaven even more than angels, as angels are supposed to care for and watch over them. It seems humans are God's dearly beloved, and God would give up just anything to secure and make them happy. This explains the reason Jesus, according to the New Testament, had to be sent to die for humans. The reach of this book is immense compared to what has been explained. It influenced later Christian thoughts, as scholars have said. They can see some bold imprints of it in other books, such as Jude and Revelations. In Jude, we are thrown into the mysterious world of angels and spirits. The same thing can be said of Revelations. It is also straight about what has been seen and known since the beginning of the world. They are all in the annals of the Witcher. One wonders why it is such a coincidence. The thing is, it's no coincidence. It has influenced other books. Another important book worthy of being mentioned here is that of Baruch. Usually ascribed to Jeremiah, it is not a settled cause. Many are still of the opinion that Jeremiah did not write it. Until that is proven, the general consensus is what will be followed. Anyway, it was written in the 1st and 2nd century. It tells of the tales of many of Baruch's visions, explanations, and revelations that were not originally in the Bible. They shed more light on what had been known with their twists and turns. One would be well off reading it, but it is more or less advanced Jeremiah. Then we turn to the last but another important book here, the Ascension of Isaiah. Unlike the book of Baruch, the authorship of the Ascension of Isaiah is clear. Its direction and revelations are also very familiar. According to experts studying it, it fuses themes from both the Christian and Jewish literature. The story here is that of Isaiah's journey to the heavens, the throne of God. He might not be a mediator like Enoch, but he certainly saw firsthand what was happening in heaven. He reported the breathtaking pictures of heaven and some other already known but often doubted realities. The book contains 2 parts. One is the martyrdom of Isaiah. This is a very detailed history of Isaiah, starting from the early part of his journey as a prophet and how he began to confront King Manasseh in accordance with the orders he received from God. Manasseh warned him to keep quiet, but he would not since God had never ordered him. This then led Manasseh to order that he be brought to him. After he saw that Isaiah would never keep quiet, he ordered that he be put on the sword, which was exactly what happened. The other part, on the other hand, contains his vision of heaven. All these had been a gap in Christian knowledge, but now the truth is known. However, the Book of Enoch does more than explain the past. It has also helped explain a profound scientific reality.
And it's also interesting that they found the Book of Enoch among other books of the Bible when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls.
How the Book of Enoch helped explain a troubling scientific question. On December 20th, 1994, A new scientific question was birthed. No, it did not happen because of new equipment that was introduced. Rather, it could be said that old equipment was doing its job better. That is the James Webb Telescope, which has surprised the Earth with beautiful images and pictures that would not have been accessible without it. Until December 20th, everything it has captured has always fit into the scientific laws and paradigms that have always been known. But on this day, something else happened. There were shocking images of many neatly packed structures in the atmosphere. This was at first most troubling. As known, scientists are never the ones to be shy in the face of a troublesome situation. This is the reason some of them collected the images and began theorizing. In the world of scientists, time is everything. The faster one can find the solution, the better. So, theories began to come out. But as they were coming, the scientific watchdogs stooped to work too. They began to find faults in those theories. Attempts were made to invent new explanations and theories to capture the current reality, but they were all to no avail. This continued until everyone agreed that no one had the answer by which time the image had traveled out of the scientific space. It all of a sudden began to trend on the internet. People sent it to other people. They wanted to let their loved ones. Some also began to look at it from non-scientific eyes. Soon, an alarm bell rang across the board that it must have been something sinister. This is because it has been inexplainable, so they couldn't explain it. Terrible things on Earth have been inexplicable, so for some, it is better to be safe than sorry. Many blamed the scientists for allowing the image to leak without having enough information on it. But the deed had already been done. To end the panic, the Fed intervened. They wanted the pictures to be removed entirely from the internet. Their reason was that it had started causing a widespread panic. The Fed had indeed enough reason to stop the spread, but there seems to be another reason they want the thing bottled. For some speculators, it is because the Fed knows the truth about the image. In collaboration with the deep state, they have chosen to keep everyone in the dark. They, according to these people, could not have done that for no reason. There must be more than meets the eye. While the Fed succeeded in deleting the image from the internet, one photographer, Arlington of Airfield, had it saved in a very safe space, and he has made it come out the more to the extent that all that had been hidden was now showing in full color. He was so sure of what he had done that he began showing it to people all around. They kept coming back after telling people they knew would love to see it come to them. After doing this for a while, Arlington considered making it online again. When it came back, you'd be surprised at the sight of it. The image shows tower pillar caves and other extravagant, indescribable structures arranged in piles. Their blocks look unreal, and their inside is inaccessible from the image. But there is something quite confusing about this image. They seem to be built with some rhythmical tune. That is, their structure has some orientation that makes one want to say this must have been the works of an intelligent being. However, that would be too fast an assumption to make. Yet, it looks like it. Anyway, some people who do not need a lot of facts before accepting something took the image hook, line, and sinker, but the scientists were not moved. Who would be right, the scientists or the layman? The image eventually went back to the scientists. They saw it but were not moved except for one, Dr. Ken Wilson. This man, though, has a rich understanding of space science, and a history of dismissing something like this feels there must be some truth in this particular one. His thought was confirmed when he noticed a particular hollow place, a kind of blurred section that no one could explain. He tried himself and saw no answer. This prompted him to argue that NASA should give the image the benefit of the doubt. That is, they should recapture the place. It was not an easy one, but he succeeded in getting them to do it. After they agreed, they came together again to decide how best to undertake this. For them, the James Webb Telescope should be configured for optional settings. They should also make sure it is at its best, working on its ability to do full-time jobs and everything. This took a long time because they did not want to risk another shot in the name of confirmation. That would be quite too much for everyone. It takes a lot of money besides. What they saw again shocked them. It was a futuristic city with its own system and organizational structure. Moreover, the Earth and galaxies were moving from the city. They were confused and had to seek explanation elsewhere. When the Ethiopian Bible was found, this city was one of the places Enoch described. It exists in mid-air. Rather than being a futuristic city, it is part of an extension. With the Ethiopian Bible, the truth of it is becoming more and more understood. The laymen, against all thoughts, are right. Thanks for watching this video till the end. What are your thoughts about the futuristic city you found? What's most surprising for you about the revelation of the Book of Enoch? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.